The Art of Fatherhood. How to find a good lawyer. Lawyers make a lot of money from complications. They make a lot of money from conflicts. They make a lot of money from things getting dragged out over time. The whole system does. There is much to be gained and lost in fanning the flames of conflict, especially over emotionally volatile issues. The real cost of anything is often hard to envision at the beginning of any period of negotiation. The highest goal will always be reconciliation. Experience can be employed and hired, but the ability to make the right decision is a moral judgment that comes from our own understandings and values. The wrong perspective will always lead to the wrong decision. How you see things may change how you view what they are, but they will not change what those things actually are. The first skill to employ in any conflict is the ability to listen well and attain clarity on the ultimate goal of the other side. As with any profession, there are good and bad lawyers, as there are good and bad teachers. There are good and bad taxi companies, and good and bad mechanics and pastors and doctors and actors. Jumping onto the first bus that stops outside your apartment may not always be the best way to get further down the road. First impressions are as impulsively wrong as they are right, and there is no substitute for time and deeper study. Knowledge is one side of the coin, but connection is on the other side. How well do you understand each other? How well do you relate? How well do you listen? How quickly can you cut to the chase? How do we ensure not too much haste and not too much waste? What makes the difference is finding people who can nurture our own level of self-responsibility and educate us to a point where we can become enabled enough to, with counsel, lead ourselves correctly. Two things clearly determine the future of relationships: the past and now. What came before will come again if the same habits are repeated, but what came before may not occur if differing actions are taken in the present. That ability to map out the patterns and the trends matters. Enter any relationship blindly, and you will have a very dark experience. In times of crisis, each step matters and must be taken with consideration and care, knowing every possible outcome and every possible consequence. Knocking shelves together may be fun, but how adept are you in this particular area? The difference between teamwork and individual exploration is usually clearly visible. DIY is much more personal but much less successful than an organized enterprise. The power of the collective structure should never be underestimated. The individual is quickly worn down and worn out. Tired people make bad decisions. One man may outrun another, but he will be hunted down and sniffed out by the army. The result is that your network also matters. Quality, timely advice from those around you is worth its weight in gold. Act neither too slowly nor too quickly. Have options available. At the beginning, we are all learners, but over time, we should become wiser. The owl is able to recognize the serpent because of his awareness of his surroundings. When you seek a representative, you need to seek somebody who really wants to know you and your goals. Somebody with whom you can develop a trusting relationship. Somebody who will fit into your network of alliances and friendships. Somebody who has your back, because having to constantly look over your shoulder to check what is happening behind you is an annoying and unnecessary distraction. When seeking legal counsel, alongside experience and relevance, you need to get to know the principles and values that drive the person. For that reason, I recommend getting to know the person behind the suit. Not too personally, but enough to have respect and to be conscious enough to allow them to correct your errors as you make them. Here are some questions that will help you to get to know your representative, or any person for that matter. 1. Where did you study, and was it a good experience? 2. What is your specialization, and why did you choose it? 3. What is your success rate, and how do you define success? 4. What are your hobbies, and how do you relax? 5. What was the last book that you read, and was it any good? 6. What do you care about the most in life, and why does it matter? 7. What do you love and hate about the work that you do? And perhaps convince me that I should employ you to represent me. To which the best answer is always that there are usually many options available, and at the beginning of any relationship we need to be clear on our objective and the course that we wish to chart to get there. There needs to be a clearly defined cost to benefit analysis in any long-term financial relationship. Seek somebody who does not look tired, run down, or saddened by their overburdening responsibilities. Somebody serious yet with vitality. You need to be surrounded by those with energy to input into assisting and guiding you to where you need to be. You must seek a synergy. Look not for just standard run-of-the-mill answers to the previous questions, but something heartfelt, a connection to people, nature, or anything that makes life beautiful. You can have expectations, but do not let that interfere with your judgment. You will probably instinctively know what is right when you find it. However, remain aware that we can convince ourselves of anything that we wish to believe. Your greatest advocate will be the ability to reason to logical conclusions. I hope that this helps. The Art of Fatherhood.